Howdy welcome back. My name is Bodhi. I'm going to start by offering a moment to ground ourselves. I'm going to chant 3 ohms and then leave a moment for some silence. And tune into your breath. Jai. Thank you guys for tuning into this video today. This is a very special topic for me, I feel like, because it's just something that almost sounds too simple, but it can be so healing when we come to have an understanding of our basic foundation of our nervous system and how to, it's almost like basically hacking your nervous system. And yoga has taught me so much about coming into the body, coming to understand the cycles of the mind, the body, and alignment, and how we can ground ourselves, heal ourselves, and come into the present moment this way. And through yoga, we had little, anatomy courses, and I learned a lot about the nervous system, and specifically sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And of course, we know the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight response, and then the parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and restore response. And we need both to have balance throughout our day. We need to be alert driving and exercise, and we need energy, and that's our sympathetic response. And we need our parasympathetic nervous system to relax, to be calm, to go to sleep. And both are necessary. And in our modern world, in society, a lot of our everyday action and movement is definitely governed more so by the sympathetic nervous system. We run on caffeine, we're running on fumes, we're always on the go, or we're trying to get to where we need to be in a certain time, and we're rushing, and we do things so fast that it's almost like our nervous system can't fully catch a break. And then, of course, anxiety rises. Out of this, our mental health is really, it's linked to our nervous system and our body. And just building the relationship with the nervous system can be so healing and just bring about such a depth of awareness to our everyday life, how we react to things and how things make us feel. And the goal of this video isn't to say that, I can heal you or anxiety, but it's to say that this will make coping with anxiety and things that are high stress environment situations easier, because life is going to be full of stressors, and there's nothing we can really do about that, but we can become aware of our nervous system, hack it almost, to later on be able to not build on situations and just let whatever emotions rise move through the body and really process, and then come back to a balanced state. And that is what all I'm really talking about, I guess. So my theory to why I feel like our sympathetic nervous system is always so stimulated is because back in the day, right? We're hunter-gatherers and hunting for food, looking to survive, and every day was like kind of a challenge, I suppose. And then now everything is really ready at our fingertips. You go to the grocery store for food and go to our job for money, and we're not necessarily fighting for survival all the time anymore. It's just like our sympathetic nervous system still governs like how we move through society, and it's important to bring about a balance in the nervous system, because while the sympathetic nervous system is necessary, we really need to activate our parasympathetic nervous system and then bring a balance to the nervous system, which will long term help us to just become aware of how we react and how things affect us. It's just important, and I feel like this is something that everyone could use. There's no really downfall to building this awareness, this relationship to the nervous system. Again, if yoga's taught me anything, is that the breath is really connected to our nervous system, among other factors like the way we're eating and our routine, our lifestyle. But stress management is one of the big 3 pillars of health, and yoga is definitely one of those modalities that can help to manage our stress and things that occur throughout our day, something we can return to just to center ourselves. And there's no downfall of practicing yoga, and yoga is for everybody. You don't have to be skinny or flexible or whatever, and you don't need yoga clothes or anything like that. I just do yoga in my sweatpants most of the time. Just get comfortable, stretch your body, and focus in on the breath. And pranayama, breath work, is I feel like it's a solid way to exercise your breath, and exercising the breath can also exercise the nervous system. And there are specific techniques that do activate the sympathetic nervous system, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and a practice of some techniques together can just build this all around grounding and balancing effect to the nervous system, which can long term out in the world you'll start to notice oh wow, a few months ago I would have freaked out over this, but you can objectively see a situation for what it is with a sense of non-attachment to it, and help resolve and calmly move through the day and stuff. So yeah, and I am going to first just explain some of these techniques and then demo these techniques. So I'm going to say some more beginner breath work that is taught specifically in my lineage through integral yoga is Dirghasvasam, also known as Dirgha, and Kapalabhati, and skull shining breath, and then Nadi Shuddhi or Nadi Shodhana as alternate nostril breathing. And doing these 3 practices, maybe just in one session or having a focus on one versus the other, can just have a balancing effect. So I'm going to explain those in just the way I named it. So Dirghasvasam, or Dirgha, is deep 3-part breath, and that is just the breathing technique. I feel like everyone tries to instruct or demo, and you can do box breathing with Dirghasvasam, but Dirghasvasam, you are taking deep belly breaths starting from the diaphragm, so it's almost like you're breathing into the belly, and you breathe up into the intercostal muscles and then up through the chest or collarbones if your breath goes that deep. And you take really slow, nice, long inhalations that are comfortable for your body and your lung capacity, and then nice, slow, controlled exhales. And this can help to have one hand over the heart, one hand over the body, and just doing this for 1 to 3 minutes. And if it can really bring you into your body, especially if you move through your day used to just shallow breathing. And shallow breathing is really what can activate the sympathetic nervous system. So when you breathe into the abdomen, you will activate the parasympathetic nervous system. You calm yourself, and we do this gradually, do this slowly. You do take in more oxygen from doing Dirghasvasam, and whenever you're practicing pranayama, breath work, breath techniques, just return your breath to normal. If you ever feel like, woo, you're feeling a little light, because you do take in more oxygen. Over time, these practices, with daily practice, they will grow and build, and then they build your nervous system, and it is just so powerful, the effects of these practices, and they're just very relaxing and calming and simple. Like, you can sit whatever is comfortable for you, even in a chair. And if you're in office or in the bathroom, like on a little bathroom break or something, you can just sit on the toilet or just standing, whatever. You can stop in whatever moment you're doing to just place hand on your heart and belly, take 3 to 5 or 10 deep Dirgha breaths, and you'll be like, ooh, okay, like calm, collected, like, all right, like calms the mind. And we all know how our minds can be so all over the place. We have very monkey minds. So that's Dirghasvasam. And then the next one is Kapalabhati, skull shining breath. And I know this breath technique, it has different, I guess some people would consider it a harder breath technique, but for starting off this way we teach it is in 3 short rounds. Instead of sitting in a spot and trying to do skull shining breath for 3 minutes, you can start off introducing your nervous system to this breath practice by doing 3 rounds, with the first round being shorter, second round slightly longer, and the third round longer, to your comfort, and the pace of the breath starting slower, and then as you get used to it, speeding up. So Kapalabhati activates the sympathetic nervous system, but when, again, introduced slowly to your body, it can be very awakening. It's a good practice to do in the mornings, like if you're trying to start your day. It's very tonifying and cleansing, purifying breath, and it is just, it's a powerful breath for sure. Has a very warming effect, but that's why we also recommend starting off slow in 3 rounds and gradually building each round up. And through my lineage, we taught to max out a round at 108 expulsions. So Kapalabhati it's like a forceful exhale and a passive inhale. And it can help to have your hand on your belly. And I'll demo just a few rounds, or what a full like session of Kapalabhati can look like for the beginning practice of this breath technique. And it looks, and just some awareness, like, again, feel lightheaded doing this even a little bit, return your breath to normal. I feel like this one you want to build slowly, and that's not something I feel like you get instructed or to hear frequently, but anyone can do Kapalabhati. And yeah, so I'm just going to explain real quick that Kapalabhati looks and sounds like this. Exhale fully, inhale part way, and begin. So you snap the belly almost like a ha, like when you're laughing and you go, and your belly snaps in, you snap the belly in, and you can do this 3 rounds, have short rounds, just see how it feels, how it makes you feel. And again, it's a practice that you build slowly over time. It'll grow, it'll help almost like control the sympathetic nervous system so it doesn't get too out of whack, but it keeps you alert. So that is Kapalabhati, skull shining breath, and I'm going to move on to Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. This is a powerful way to balance the parasympathetic nervous system. You begin Nadi Shuddhi by taking your right hand, balling it into a fist, and then sticking out your pinky, your ring finger, and your thumb. And make sure this hand gesture, this mudra, this is Vishnu mudra, is relaxed. You don't want to be like tight, it can just, relax your fingers. And you can do it like this if that's comfortable. And you start by taking your thumb gently, just gently plug up the hole of your right nostril. Exhale fully out of the left. Inhale through the left nostril, and then switch. And exhale, inhale, and switch. And this balances the left and right hemisphere of the brain. And there are even separate practices like this that can bring a focus to a specific nostril. The left nostril is the lunar nostril, and the right nostril is the solar nostril, or the masculine. To left is the feminine. And I will go into detail about those practices in a separate video that I make about pranayama, but for now we're just going to focus on alternate nostril breathing. And with Nadi Shuddhi, you can incorporate Dirga into this by taking deep inhalations and exhalations, but just switching your nostril. And another added practice, once you get the hang of the pattern, you can have intention or an affirmation, like you inhale love, exhale fear, like inhale abundance, exhale lack, and inhale love, exhale peace, just to have a little visual almost of what you want, your intention to come into your body, come into your life, what you want to radiate. And that in and of itself can be a powerful way to set the intent for a practice and the way you want to move off the mat. And so doing these 3 practices, or even having these separate breath techniques, can help to, wake you up in the morning or calm you down after a stressful situation, a day of work, decompress, relax the mind before you go to sleep. This can help you to just balance out your nervous system. Again, it's so powerful, it's so easy, and they're simple, really, and you will just see long term how these practices really build on your life. And Swami Satchidananda, Gurudev, says, he's not gonna, you shouldn't be told what to do, just let the practice change you, The practice will change you over time. You'll be like, wow, what? Life is so, it can be so peaceful, and peace really is our inner true state of being. We just have layers of conditioning, of trauma, of emotional trauma, and thoughts and worries, and layers that cloud our true understanding of who we are and what we were, manifested on earth for by the divine. And we are also divine no matter what you believe in, whatever you worship, who you worship. The same divinity runs through all of us. So doing these practices it's an easy way to just balance the nervous system, build this relationship. And a little Ayurveda information: the nervous system is governed by the Vata dosha, and the Vata dosha is made up of air and ether elements. So very airy, always moving qualities, always on the go qualities, and is considered an imbalance of Vata when your nervous system is basically wired up and out of whack. And you can pretty much almost assume that most people have a Vata imbalance, which is another reason why these breathing techniques are so powerful. And just really easy ways to even build a meditation practice, because you come to calm the mind. Once you calm the mind, you can come into a concentrated, one-pointed state to come into meditation. And again, meditation, we all know, is another one of those, it can be life-changing, it can be just so healing and powerful. And that is why I just feel like it's so essential for everyone to have access to these practices, knowledge and understanding. So I know these practices for me have definitely, I want to say, changed my life, because these are practices I'd always return to come back into my body, come back into my mind, really reflect and set intentions for anything that I'm doing and how I want to move through my day, how I want to, interact with others, and how I want to handle situations, especially like back in high school. I was told I had a panic disorder and I was having panic attacks like 3 to 4 times a week, and I was scared to go to school because I was scared they were going to happen at school. And they can be so scary, and just it can affect the quality of your life. But having this understanding and awareness on the nervous system, on how to basically hack your nervous system through your breath, it was healing, and I swear by it, I really do. And I hope that if you guys take anything away from this video, is just how it can help balance your life, build up mindful practices, and just, heal yourself. Just heal yourself. It's the most powerful thing you can do, honestly. I hope this video serves you guys well. Thank you for showing up to tune in and showing up for yourself. And this is how we bloom. This is how we heal. This is how we grow. This is how we evolve into loving, peaceful beings, and honor where you are now, honor what the future holds for you. Hold yourself in a space of love and be gentle with yourself always. We're all doing the best we can with what we know how, and we're always learning. And yeah, thank you for being here and blooming with me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.